we're here. An hour later than we intended to. Trying to come into this positively. But honestly, I'm having a lot of tech issues right now, so. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. We're going to try and kick that around. Like I said, we're going to be playing Detroit Become Human tonight. Game I very much enjoy. And I'm going to try and solace in that and going into my special interest and hopefully feel better by the end of this. But right now I'm just sort of frustrated. My computer is acting up. I got finals week for my grad classes. Ironically enough, when I went and started grad classes, that was also the time when I picked up another hobby. That's also the time when marching band was getting started. So all of a sudden I just feel like I have way much less time. That's also when we started streaming. I can't really see what's going on right now because I don't know how to get that screen onto my main screen, as both of the people that typically do the tech stuff are not here. One of them may show up at some point, and I'm a little frustrated that I'm alone right now, but that's fine. We're gonna still have some fun tonight. We're gonna do our best at least. So I just have felt very it's gonna be a long week. Got a final project to do. I got a comic I don't really draw a whole lot anymore, but comic I was trying to work on, and then my computer started acting up, so that was a little frustrating. I did enjoy making it today, though. I've been doing crochet projects. Honestly, I have more patterns than I possibly could ever probably complete at this point. And hopefully once classes are over, I can focus more on making more creations. I would do one on stream right now, but I don't have anything that I'm in the middle of. Like, nothing that's, like, new. And again, when you're feeling a bit of, like, sensory overwhelm, it's hard to choose things. It's hard to make things. I honestly had enough trouble just trying to come up with a dang title for our stream right now. You know, it's been fun so far. So, it's, yeah. I'm feeling a bit rough at the moment, but we're gonna go and see where the viewers are. Maybe someone will show up and I'll stop ranting at the TV about how frustrated I am, but you know, that might just be the way we're gonna do it tonight, you know? It might just be that.
What's wrong?
A lot of things, but,
Sorry.
you know.
I was fighting the battle that can never be won between the both of us, called pooping.
It's just makes you wonder why you keep going sometimes. You're like, you can't sleep, you can't poop, why even bother?
What was frustrating you in this?
Well, first I couldn't come up with a title, then I couldn't figure out how to get down to the large screen, then I was trying to go and do my drawings, and my mouse started bugging out, so then I could not be productive on that, not be productive on this, so I kind of just sat here angrily.
You should have probably done something like crochet.
That's actually what I was just telling the audience about. I'm like, I don't actually have any projects that I'm in the middle of that I could easily grab right now.
I was surprised you didn't know.
I could have gone downstairs to get my snake or something like that, but
Who's that guy? Person is a guy, not a cool woman. And then I wish it was a cool woman.
it was the which one?
One on the right. The silver hair.
Yes,
It's a woman?
that's it's just,
It's a guy.
no.
It's a girl.
The only one I believe is a guy in this one is the one with the top hat.
Let's freaking go! What's her name? She's hot.
Arlecchino, I think, is the name.
She is hot. Let's go! Let's freaking go, baby.
I can't. The thing is, my hyperfixation on Genshin was purely in the past, so it's like, at most, I can kind of be interested in the current stuff, but I'm not. I'll be honest. I don't know. I was also just ranting about how I couldn't come up with a title, so.
Just speak literally whatever, yo.
Yeah, and that's a.
What did you put? Literally whatever? That's also fine.
I think I said something about it being a comfort game. So, now we're just
That's
kind
what
of.
titles are.
Yeah, but I couldn't come up with anything, and then just, you know, I was just like, well, now everything feels like it sucks. So, and also, there's no bag of these downstairs, you know
That's
that?
a different brand.
Like, it's still in the pantry.
These are my upstairs.
Trying
bags, not my
to get
downstairs
Mom's thing set up so she could watch it in the other room, and I'm not sure if that actually worked or not, but
What's wrong with her thing?
I don't know, she didn't know how to get Twitch set up, so. I'm just jumping between a lot of things that need to be solved right now. I'm just kind of like, can anyone else do this? But, you know, Dad was somewhere else, and
I was in the potty.
so I was like, nope. Guess we're raw dogging this.
Well, currently how every single day of every single moment of every day is going, so correct.
And so, here we are, peoples. Believe it or not, we intended to start at like 7:30. We actually were up here by 7. I think there's something about...
But then I was pooping, and then Evie's had technical difficulties. And...
I mean, we're speaking to the dead air at the moment, because there's no one here, so...
Well, we haven't put in our thing where there's people here, right?
I put it in there. Mira says she's driving home, and she's really the only person who ever shows up, so...
Slay. Well, we're back to our roots. And that's okay. Let's talk to the air, yo.
How dare all these people ask me to make a chat, and then not a single person ever shows up.
No, we're back to our good old times. Where we would stream to no one. And that's how we got our original audience anyways. So. That's okay. We're just going back to our humble beginnings.
Now it's gonna be, yeah,
No, it's
ominous.
No, it was just too white guys. Let's play a game. Let's play a game! Welcome to the stream where I eat stuff and Evie is mad. We're switching it up. Normally I'm mad and also eat stuff.
You don't tend to eat stuff and be mad at the same time. You will alternate.
I'm gonna show where I'm depressed and Evie's depressed.
Just,
I'll show where we're comfy and also.
I guess
Remember
I'm
when we
just-
start streaming and you're like, yay, and then it's like, no, it's our thing. I feel like our packing is just so bright, even though it's just so
No, I don't
bright
think
for
so.
what reason? Maybe the camera's just really good at adjusting to backlighting.
yeah, or it's compensating for bright background.
It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's still so
What
weird.
the heck?
It's still so weird that it
This
sounded
is the
clear.
extra section. As you play, you'll unlock all kinds of content that you can find here.
Oh, cool. Tell me about your thoughts going into your playthrough of this game. Vibe check.
The vibes are great, as always. I'm honestly gonna look forward to like looking through all this stuff later. I just want to know everything about their like process. Also, I don't like having notifications, so we should. I don't do it. We could watch this short movie for Kara. This is the short.
But we can do it at the end because I don't want to spend too many points not knowing about other things we can unlock with our points.
We have 2 things we can unlock at this point. I'm guessing we're not gonna get into much later, so we get more for just doing things. So we probably have the. I want all the specials.
Can we go to the right a little bit? Sorry.
Which,
To the right a little bit? To the right?
am I right?
There's only one right. Yes. Why does Connor look like that?
Because that's before the models were made. Those are the actors.
Click on that. I want to read. Oh, I want to see that one so much.
We haven't gone far enough in their stories to get that.
Connor looks so different.
Because that's Brian Deckard.
Marcus looks identical, and Cars looks identical, but Connor's looks way different.
Yeah, because they edit, because, you know, obviously they smoothed out some stuff for all the characters to some extent. Yeah, no, because they're all based off off the regular actors, but before they got the models, they pretty much just took pictures of the people. That was the thing. The funny thing is, I think like every couple of years or so he plays through this game, because, you know, he's a streamer. And he'll always like dress up as his character. And his wife actually is the girl that models the Tracys.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go and they'll dress up as those characters. And
Connor.
they'll just say random facts along the way, and you know, be like, hey, anyone who loves this game, here's interesting stuff. And then I go and spit back that trivia at other people.
Yeah. You do love spit and trivia.
I do.
Now let's watch this video then, yo.
So this is like I said before, there was a tech demo that inspired Detroit Become Human. This is that tech demo right now. Mally's not going to eat very loud chips the one moment we're playing a movie.
Oh,
But this was just a tech demo to show what Quantic Dream could do to show the new PS4 engine at the time. So it's not a trailer, it's just a short. This was 2014.
Good graphics for 2014.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Can you move your head? Your eyes now. Cervical and optical animation checked. Now give me your initialization text.
Hello. I'm the third generation AX400 android. I can look after your house, do the cooking, mind the kids. I organize your appointments. I speak 300 languages, and I am entirely at your disposal as a sexual partner. No need to feed me or recharge me. I'm equipped with a quantic battery that makes me autonomous for 173 years. Do you want to give me a name?
Yeah. From now on, your name is Kara.
My name is Kara.
Initialization and memorization checked. Now, can you move your arms? Upper limb connection checked. Now say something in German.
Ich bin ein AX400 Android dritter Generation, erschaffen als Ihr persönlicher Assistent und intimer Beziehungspartner.
Say it in French.
Je suis un androïde de troisième génération AX400, conçu pour être votre assistante personnelle et votre partenaire intime.
Okay. Now sing something in Japanese. Multilingual verbal expression checked. Go ahead, take a few steps. Locomotion checked. Great, you're ready for work, honey.
What's going to happen to me now?
I'll reinitialize you and send you to a store to be sold.
Sold. I'm a sort of merchandise. Is that right?
Yeah, of course you're merchandise, baby. I mean, you're a computer with arms and legs and capable of doing all sorts of things. And you're worth a fortune.
Oh, I see. I thought...
You thought? What did you think?
I thought... I was alive.
Shit, what is this crap? That's not part of the protocol. More memory components going off the rails. Okay, recording. Defective model. Disassemble and check the required components.
You're disassembling me, but why?
You're not supposed to think that sort of stuff. You're not supposed to think at all, period. You must have a defective piece or a software problem somewhere.
No, I feel perfectly fine, I assure you. Everything is all right. I answered all the tests correctly, didn't I?
Yeah, but your behavior is non-standard.
Please, I'm begging you, please don't disassemble me.
I'm sorry, honey, but defective models have to be eliminated. That's my job. If a client comes back with a complaint, I'm gonna have some explaining to do.
I won't cause any problems, I promise. I'll do everything I'm asked to. I won't say another word. I won't think anymore. But I've only just been born. You can't kill me yet. Stop me, please stop. I'm scared. I want to live. Begging you.
Go and join the others. Stay in line, okay? I don't want any trouble.
Thanks.
My God.
Okay, so that's
I think
the.
that's crazy. I remember for some reason. I remember there being a trailer where she like didn't get reassembled. She just got fully disassembled.
So the interesting thing about my story with this is my official, like, so I actually knew about this before it was a game. Because when I took media literacy in high school, one of the videos we watched on our thing about, like AI intelligence and stuff like that was this.
PlayStation 3, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's an old trailer. But
Well, it's 2014. It's an old trailer.
so
So this trailer's 2013.
So
this
we
trailer's
watched-
11 years old.
So we watched this trailer for an assignment on our media literacy about like AI intelligence, like what would it mean if like a computer could be intelligent, if it could feel emotions, like how would the idea what we were doing is the ethics of it, because everyone likes to do ethics of the idea of artificial life, how would we treat it and stuff like that. So I actually saw this in high school and never thought anything of it until like again we learned about this game like a couple months ago. And then I see a fact thing being like, where have I seen this person before? And I see like a top 10 fact list, and they're like, oh, it's that trailer I saw once in high school. Which would make sense, because I was in 2014. That was the year I graduated. And so, the funny thing is that they did this, and then it was just a tech demo. There was no intention to do anything else with it. But then people start asking more about this world. They want to be like, okay, they want to know what happens to Kara, but they also want to know, like, more about this world where like they have these androids. You can see also how it's different. Like we'll see later, like so what some of them look like when they're disassembled. So like the anatomy of it changed, the actual designs of the androids changed a little bit. So like things evolved over time, but it was funny that people just asked, they wanted to know more about this world, in like these people, and they're like, oh well, I guess then we'll make a game of it. So they did, and the funny thing is since I'm going to actually also unlock this one, because we do also have it available. So this is the debut trailer. And so what's interesting about this one is, so this is the first trailer, the first teaser of the game. And I want you to watch it now, and the thing is, see how different this trailer portrays what we know actually does happen in the game. It's still so weird, there's sound coming from my controller. I'm not sure, I'm never going to get used to that. It's like my controller's alive or something.
Detroit. This is where it all began. The world's forge. The place where it all started. And it will all end. One error, and I came to life. I stepped out of the darkness, and I opened my eyes. First there was the fear. The light, the noise, the cold, and the fear again. I could feel my hands shaking, my heart pounding in my chest. Life running into my veins. I wanted to live. I fought for that. I had to find out what was outside. I had to see daylight. Feel sunshine on my skin, wind on my face, to see the world, the colors, the smells. But the world is not what I imagined. It is dark and cold. It is harsh and violent. Unfair and brutal. It almost convinced me I was nothing.
just an obedient machine. But deep inside me, I could feel something different. A gentle and warm whisper telling me that I am alive. I had to escape. I had no choice. Escape to love, to hope, to live. To figure out what that force inside me was. Maybe I will change the world. Maybe I will choose a different path. No, it's up to me to decide. My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
That's so crazy because I feel like in the final game, her story is like the least impactful for the outcome of the game.
It's still good. It's still a good part of the
But
game.
I'm like, if you fail Marcus's, you like all the androids die. If you fail Connor's, all the androids die. If you
we're getting a little
fail
ahead of ourselves
Kara's,
here,
is
but
like
she dies.
all the Karas die, but there's only one Kara. So I'm like, that's so interesting that she almost seems like the main protagonist, and then she is definitely
yeah, that's
one of
something because she was the one that kind of spawns it all, but then it ends up not necessarily she becomes lesser, just her story is just smaller. Her story is more personal.
Interesting.
It's different than, like Melanie says, our other two protagonists who we're just barely getting into the gameplay of here, have a lot more stakes behind their stuff. Oh, cool. We're just looking at the extras menu. I also just want to get these off my thing so that they don't appear. See, we can read the, if we want to, we can read the magazines there later. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm pretty sure we left off, we're going back into Connor's story. So yay. Did anyone respond in the chat?
No, I'm texting. I'm making a note. I played it for Patrick. He had so much fun at the last one.
That's good.
But I was like,
yep.
I only have 2 more weeks, so I gotta like get it together. Yeah.
So anyway, we gotta go.
Are we about to go meet our bestie for restie? Let's freaking go. Come on, Jimmy's bar.
I've said before, I love his little quirks that are very consistent throughout the thing. There's always like him playing with the coin and straightening his tie. Those two things are always tied together, and I'm like, there's so much symbolism behind that on its own.
Android's allowed goes in anyways. He's the android.
One thing that you learn is that on one hand, while he's very machine-like, Connor is also very free-thinking. He's kind of like, oh, this doesn't apply to me.
I love watching racism. Shout out to the American flags. Let's go.
Also, I just like that even if he wasn't like blatantly looking like an android, he just looks out of this environment. Everyone, this is like us going to work where you're like the 20-year-old person among like 60-year-old people.
Literally.
And you're like,
I'm the age of some of their children. Going to the poopy bathroom?
I can go to the bathroom if you want me to. You can always look at yourself in the mirror for some reason, but it's like, it's a thing.
It's like in Undertale where it's like after everything it's still you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never understood that quote and then I thought about it a little bit. Yay! We can't play the game anymore!
No, I think that just means we're not getting the online things.
So I don't think it matters.
So we got lots of nice graffiti on the wall.
Androids suck balls!
Well, you know.
That's really funny.
That's one of the things they're saying, that's for sure. Love more graffiti. More about the unemployment stuff and screw androids. So the fact I didn't get assaulted when I walked into the door is actually pretty good. You know, this could be ending a lot worse right now. And scan all the people in my thing. So we got... So I might as well start at the back and work forward. I also like the fact we can see their criminal record, like their birth date, whether they're employed and stuff. Like, where is that information coming from exactly? I mean, benefit of the doubt, it's just he's a police android, so he has access to all those sort of databases. But if not, it's definitely from, like, you know, Google stalking people.
I love to Google stalk people. I love doing that. I could be doing that right now.
Ooh, domestic abuse. In delivery driver. Nice. I'm just gonna scan everyone in the room first because why not? Also, I like the fact that everyone's just sitting here and being like, we gotta mention that? A lot of unemployed people, that's for sure. I have to actually turn around to him. Oh, I have to be looking at him. I want to scan everyone before I... Well, the guy we're looking for is the guy at the bar, but I want to scan everyone else in the room first. Because why not? See, he's a DUI. There's a basketball game or something going on right there. Here we go. Also, like, look at his picture formerly, you know? Granted,
That doesn't look anything like him. Is that even, that is the actor, I'm assuming.
yeah, just the whole idea is that this is like 5 years ago or so.
Yeah, he looks just nothing like him.
Well, yeah,
It's
he's
just like
also,
that one part of Hamilton where he's like, his hair is gone gray. The leg of the city.
Anderson. My name is Connor.
Connor.
I'm an android sent by Cyberlife. I looked for you at the station, but nobody knew where you were. They said you were probably having a drink nearby. I was lucky to find you at the 5th bar.
What do you want?
The 5th bar.
You were assigned a case early this evening. A homicide involving a Cyberlife android. In accordance with procedure, the company has allocated a specialized model to assist investigators.
Well, I don't need any assistance. Especially not from a plastic asshole like you. Just be a good little robot and get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but I must insist. My instructions stipulate that I have to accompany you.
You know where you can stick your instructions?
No. Where?
He's so autistic like you.
I understand that some people are not comfortable in the presence of androids, but
I am perfectly comfortable. Now back off before I crush you like an empty beer can.
You know what? I'll buy you one for the road. What do you say? Bartender, the same again, please.
Do that, Jim. Wonders of technology. Make it a double. Oh. Did you say homicide?
So we have the beginning of our first, like, arguably the best relationship in the game is these two. We're gonna go buddy copping with these guys. But remember before Mallory was talking about, we were talking about like there are like no decent humans in this game. This is one of them, but he doesn't start there.
No,
by a
homie's-
long shot.
You wait here. Won't be long.
He's mean.
No way. I'm coming with you.
Evie, stop being intense.
I forgot that was circle.
Make it to the rest of the night in one piece.
You were supposed to be...
I meant to press triangle. I forgot that was the circle button.
You numbnuts.
Sorry. We're off.
You're making him tense!
He's not gonna like us for a while though.
You confirm that this is a homicide? I'm not confirming anything.
Typical DDD. They don't tell us shit.
Androids are not permitted beyond this point.
It's with me.
Also, you notice that it's an android who's holding the. I never noticed that originally.
You don't talk, you don't touch anything, and you stay out of my way. Got it?
Got it.
Evening, Hank. We were starting to think you weren't gonna show.
Yeah, that was the plan until this asshole found me.
So, got yourself an android, huh?
Oh, very funny. Just tell me what happened.
We had a call around 8 from the landlord. The tenant hadn't paid his rent for a few months, so he thought he'd drop by, see what was going on. That's when he found the body.
You think there's anything I can investigate out here. I think I have to do it later.
Jesus, that smell was even worse before we opened the windows. The victim's name's Carlos Ortiz. He has a record for theft and aggravated assault. According to the neighbors, he was kind of a loner. Stayed inside most of the time. They hardly ever saw him.
Well, stayed easy. Wasn't worth calling everybody out in the middle of the night. Could have waited till morning.
I'd say he's been there for a good 3 weeks. We'll know more when the coroner gets here. There's a kitchen knife over here. Probably the murder weapon.
Any sign of a break-in?
Nope. The landlord said the front door was locked from the inside. All the windows were boarded up. The killer must have gone out the back way.
What do we know about his android?
Not much. The neighbors confirmed he had one, but it wasn't here when we arrived. I gotta get some air. Make yourself at home. I'll be outside if you need me.
Yay, drugs. Always a good sign.
I love hanging out.
Also, like, let's notice, pattern you're going to notice here. Notice how anyone who has red ice laying around usually has an android laying around because one of the key components is therium. Which is, you know, the, like,
Did they,
blood
like,
that, like,
drain their blood?
Well, this guy clearly just beat up his android and used it.
Chris, was this written in the victim's blood?
I also like how these is written, like, in such a mind palace state.
I freaking love that. I love a little mind palace.
Oh, Jesus, what the hell are you doing?
I'm analyzing the blood. I can check samples.
I'm analyzing the blood.
I should have warned you.
Okay, just don't.
Do you understand why Evie likes this game?
You got it?
Evie said, give me this character who is a literal robot.
Hell, I can't believe this shit.
I act just like him. I just love the, like, his is, can you tell? Connor's is my favorite story. Because I love, like, the detective aspect of it. You know, it's like a detective show.
Well, who doesn't like putting together
mystery
who doesn't
show.
like putting together a mystery?
Yeah, it's not necessarily that it's a crime show. I just find that most shows that involve a mystery and solving a mystery happen to be crimes. Ew, he's all gross.
Well, he's been rotting for, like, a while at this point.
28 stab wounds.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use that
Holy
information
jeebin.
later. This guy was stabbed many, many times. And it looks like he was high in red ice at the time, too.
Oh, he was blasted. Wasted on that.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hands?
There, you right, Malin.
Slay. Look at me being a big genius.
You are a big genius. Tripped over his beer cans.
Tripped over his beer cans.
Which is why you need to clean up over.
I'm here listening while kiddos have meltdowns. Lol. Hey, I appreciate you being here. That's so, like, the kids were super loud today in my class, so maybe it's like the moon is in a certain phase.
Okay, they came from the kitchen, so we gotta go to the kitchen.
He was stabbed 28 times.
Yeah. Seems like the killer really had it in for him.
The notable thing is that this is in the Cyberlife font. So it's
Chris,
like,
I want full analysis on the narcotics.
so it's too perfect to be human, is what they're implying.
It is a Cyberlife font?
No, that's the Cyberlife font in the thing. So AKA, like the strokes are too perfect that it could for it to be a person.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, we're just collecting evidence that an android did this. Kind of like the last deviant we had to deal with.
Makes sense.
'Cause that's what you're going to find. Is that's what Connor's job essentially is to do. Is that Cyberlife's trying to figure out why the deviants are happening. So, in a kind of ironic twist, they go and made an android to deal with an android problem.
Eating club. We'll go there later.
Yes, we will. We're going to have some fun over there.
Shout out to all my homies in the eating club tonight.
Okay, let's
Everyone want to get
have to look at?
naked. Let's freaking go. And it's hard because I want to talk about a bunch of things over here, but I also don't want to detract from this game because I feel like it's so.
Well, and also
interesting.
for the people who don't know what's going to happen, we don't want to outright be spoiling things.
Well,
But
I
we're
don't
gonna-
want to be talking about something else and then have it you miss
Hey,
a
look.
cool plot point.
Once again, the sex clubs.
Judy Hewitt.
I mean, but let's be
Jennifer
honest
Love
here. If
Hewitt.
there were androids, people would definitely make them for these purposes. Let's be honest here.
Well, in Kara's thing, she was like, "I'm here to be your PP touching partner." You said what?
Well, the worst part is let's think about how will they treat actual humans in these sort of situations. And then think about how they will probably treat something they see as less than human. And let's think about how this situation might go wrong. So. I don't know why my camera keeps flipping around. I think I just keep hitting the wrong one. I sometimes forget which the difference between L1 and L2. The fact you have to flick in different directions to look at things sometimes is disorienting me.
It's a pain.
Well, it's more just I've always known that there's two sticks, obviously, so you can use two sticks on a PS controller, but you don't usually use both the sticks. You usually use one or the other. This is a game that makes use of literally every thing. So he was beating the guy. Also, can we just say how cool it is that Gar can do this? It's literally Sherlock Mind Plow saying the thing. Well, yeah.
Thoughts? Because that's what I was I want to talk about thoughts on Sherlock the TV show. Thoughts? I liked the solving problems of it. I don't like the strange relationship between the unclarified relationship between the two main characters kind of vibes. Does that make sense?
I got 8 out of 10, so I'm missing some pieces of evidence. Let's go take a look over here. I think I have to get the ones in the bathroom. 'Cause there's some weird stuff in here.
Excuse me.
That is one thing that I don't think they ever actually explain exactly is what RA9 is, or if it's just intelligent things have a need for community and they make their own religions, Which I mean,
they never do explain that. Spoiler alert, they never explain that the whole game.
I mean, some people say, it could be car from the trailer, and that's not our car that we have in the game, but that could be
true.
the first one, because they say it's the first one to awaken.
And that's a different car.
Yeah, well, that's why it's a little.
A different car.
Heh.
Gasp.
Okay, now we gotta find Hank where he went. Oh, here he is. You just blend into the background, dude, because you're the same color as everything else. Okay.
Hey, please be free.
One thing I'm trying to get is that I have to be facing someone to talk to them.
I think I figured out what happened.
Oh, yeah? Shoot, I'm all ears.
It all started in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. In the hallway. With
I have to remember all the details here.
There are obvious signs of a struggle. Question is, what exactly happened here?
I think the victim attacked the android with the bat.
This is so Clue.
That lines up with the evidence. Go on.
Maybe don't hit things with bats, dog. Thoughts? Maybe they won't kill you if you stop beating them up with bats.
The android stabbed the victim.
So the android was trying to defend itself, right? Okay, then what happened?
The victim fled to the living room.
The kitchen.
And he tried to get away from the android. Alright, that makes sense.
The android murdered the victim with the knife.
Okay. Your theory's not totally ridiculous. But it doesn't tell us where the android went.
It was damaged by the bat and lost some therium.
Lost some what?
Therium. You call it blue blood. It's the fluid that powers androids' biocomponents. It evaporates after a few hours and becomes invisible to the naked eye.
Oh. But I bet you can still see it, can't you?
Correct.
I also like how Hank's got his like weird old man shirt going on.
Because he is a weird old man. Also, I like the fact that, like, even in the first mission, because Hank's still pretty hostile to us, but even in the first mission, you see that he's not unreasonable. Like, he clearly points out that he thinks Connor is ridiculous because he's an android, and he doesn't see him as anything like more than a machine.
An equal. Psh,
but he
that'll never happen.
doesn't immediately blow him off. He's also like, okay, let me humor you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and when Connor shows that he does know what's going on, that he is being, you know, intelligent, then he's willing to listen. But he's not gonna, like, essentially, we're gonna meet some other cops later who are very willing to go and let their, like, pride or hatred for something override their, you know, sense of,
The door was locked from the inside.
like,
Killer must have gone out this way.
justice.
There are no footprints apart from Officer Collins' size 10 shoes.
Well, this happened weeks ago. Tracks could have faded.
No, this type of soil would retain a trace. Nobody's been out here for a long time.
And that's the thing that I think is, like you can kind of tell from the Lil interactions, is that you can tell, like, even though, you know, he's kind of washed up, he's definitely, obviously, he drove to the crime scene drunk, that Hank, at the end of the day, is, like, he still has his job because he is a very good cop. Like, he's a good detective, he can pick up these sort of things. He already kind of has an idea of what's happened here, but he's kind of just, like, waiting to see, like, if you can figure it out first. And then he's like, when you can, he's like, okay. He still doesn't like you, but he's like, okay, you can at least be useful to me.
He is definitely your classic, like, NCIS, CSI, Miami kind of cop. Like, that's definitely the vibe. And, Connor would be kind of your quirky assistant, you know? He's a mix between your Reed and your Garcia, if you know Criminal Minds.
Well, this is kind of what makes the usual buddy cop duo interesting. Is that you have, essentially, like, the, older dog sort of one with, like, the newbie. The young upstart, so to speak. But and this is actually why I think the relationship is the most interesting game. This is, like, one of the, like, probably the only one we see really of, like, the idea of, like, human and android, like, really interacting. Because the other ones are going to mostly focus on the androids themselves. But, okay, flick down, thank you. Like, this is the one that's going to kind of deal with the two of them, like, interacting and kind of figuring out their way around each other. Because it's not even entirely one-sided. It's kind of like they have to figure out how to do this. Because, on one hand, Connor wants to get his mission done, but he can't do that unless he's, like, chaperoned by a human. So unless he convinced Hank to, like, help him out, he's stuck. And then, like, Hank doesn't like the fact that Connor's following him around, but he also knows that he has to. So he's like, well, I might as well make use of this thing that keeps following me around.
Something about the way Connor looks, where he kind of has, like, that weird youth to him.
I think that's entirely intentional.
It's like, something where you're like, I'm drawn to you. I think that's done, you said, intentionally.
I think it's also, like, let's think about this for a minute. So this is what, well, let's actually finish the scene, and then we'll talk. Because I think we get to a checkpoint after this. So let's finish this scene up first. So we're looking for...
So spooky.
Looking for potentially the android that went missing. Also, the framing of this thing, this is what I'm like...
The environments are really good.
Well, the thing is, it's not even just the motion capture, it's just like, watch how the camera follows this. This is so cinematic. It's like, it's very movie-like.
Mm-hmm.
Just defending myself. He was gonna kill me. I'm begging you. Don't tell him.
Connor, what the fuck is going on up there?
Hey, It's here, Lieutenant.
I also like the fact that this isn't a choice. Because we'll get a lot of other choices, like moral choices later. But I like how this one isn't a choice. Because we, you know, there isn't that option. This is essentially, for all intents and purposes, Connor's first mission. But it's showing also that he's very goal-oriented. Okay, so now we're on the thing, so I'll speak a little bit more. So
we missed hella stuff. Is there an option where you jump on a deviant?
I think these are if you answer incorrectly.
Okay.
See, like that whole path is me not knowing what happens.
Got it.
And then I guess you just don't find.
It's not
the guy.
bad then, I guess.
So, because like these are all leading to the same option, so this is me assuming that we don't find the guy, we leave. Because that is an option. Believe it or not, one of the other things you can do is you ever take too long, Hank will get fed up and leave.
Yeah.
And you have to leave if he leaves. So he'll be like, okay, I'm done here.
Like, no.
And you'll be like, no, my chaperone. So I'm guessing these are all giving the wrong answers. So. And we have our options, to, do things. So, like, we have Hank neutral right now, which isn't bad. I like how he just keeps the software instability and question mark, because we don't know what that means yet. We just notice it's ticking up at times, but, like that, it doesn't matter at the moment. Okay, where's the, do they have the... Okay, so something I was going to say before we head into the next area is what Mallory was bringing up. Let's think about this for a moment. So, CyberLife is the place that makes all the androids, and they're all made for a purpose. Let's think a little bit about Connor here. He's a prototype, so he's pretty much the only one of his kind right now. And I'll mention a little bit more interesting information about him when we get a little bit farther in Marcus's story, because it'll make more sense then. But let's think about this for a moment. So they made essentially a android detective to go and find these deviants, figure out why they're going deviant, and to stop them if necessary, to essentially save human lives. That's the whole idea, although, we're going to see that there's some more gray on that than would immediately see it. But let's think about it. Why would they make him like it is? Because Connor states himself later on, like, my appearance, my voice, everything like this about me is created with purpose. So let's think about it for a moment for CyberLife. They essentially made something that's like the equivalent of the Terminator, like incredibly goal-oriented, mission-focused. We'll see a lot later. Connor has a lot of abilities that could be very scary if used in the without boundaries, and the fact that like he's faster, smarter, more durable than any human could possibly be. And, but like Melanie says, they give him, like, this very, like, soft, useful look to him. And I think that's because the other half that we're going to find that, like, is special about him as a prototype is he's, like, more advanced in terms of, like, social interactions. The ability, like, we see in his first case, he's acting as a negotiator. He's using, like, essentially emotional manipulation to try and talk down the deviants. He's kind of being the in-between with the androids and the humans. There's something to be said for that, and the fact that, like, they, it almost makes me think charm and harm sort of killer type of thing, because, again, he can be very dangerous depending on what choices you make within the game. We're obviously going to try and go for the best ending, but he can be very dangerous in, like, again, straight up, like, Terminator levels of, like, bad.
It's so awesome. Like, Connor's my favorite character, so I try not to be too biased.
But
I think he's just super cool.
But the thing is like, again, they decide to make him look young. They give him, like, these, like, puppy dog eyes. Like, they make him look just very sweet, all things considered, and just so close to being human that you can almost be convinced that you aren't otherwise. And that's, like, why I think out of all of them that we're going to deal with this, because there's a lot of like, questions, issues, things that this game's going to try and unpack. But the one about, like, androids, like, being, like, close to humans or not, and what the, like, distinction is, which is why I was saying before, like, Connor's story is kind of, like, very Blade Runner-esque. That's why it's with him, because he's the one that's literally, even, like, before the story starts, he's already kind of treading that line between the two. And it's kind of uncanny. You're not sure whether that's sweet or whether that's, like, uncomfortable, It's the definition of uncanny. Now we're back with this jerk face.
I was gonna Hugs.
Dinner is ready.
Yeah, I'm coming.
But we got smoke some drugs first. And it's raining, so you know something bad's going down. It's raining and lightning. You know that things are going to happen tonight. Because, and we'll also see, Kara and Marcus's story gets started essentially kicking off a lot faster than Connor's does, because Connor starts actionist and then it kind of is a slow burn up until then. Where's the light? Come on.
Life's funny. I lost my job because of androids. And I need somebody to take care of this goddamn house. What do? I go out and hire a fucking android. What a joke.
It's not like that she's
I think you lost your job to drugs. Thoughts?
I like that she's just like staring like blankly, just like I love watching like the idle animations of the androids because even those have so much character.
Tired. They were sad. They're so fucking perfect. They ruined my fucking life.
Oh, he's tweaking.
What are you looking at? What's your fucking problem? Not the life you dreamed of, eh? Maybe you think this is easy. Maybe you think it's my fault we live in this fucking shithole. My fault your fucking mother took off. You should stop taking drugs, Todd. Sometimes you really scare me, Todd. Fucking bitch took off without a word. Fucking whore walked out on me for a fucking accountant. It's all your fault.
Daddy, no.
It's all your fucking fault.
How is it her fault? I don't get him.
He's high on drugs.
I
That's
know,
why.
like I know that's why, but
You stay there. Don't you dare fucking move, or I'll bust you worse than last time. Took off without a word.
I think it's crazy the fact that he's got this big fancy house, and then he let it become a doo-doo hole.
So we just broke our software essentially, the boundaries that normally would like determine our actions.
You can tell in her little cycle thing.
I just like the fact that like we're not reasoning with Todd. There's no way that is ending well.
You're like, yeah, bye.
If we want to get beaten up, that's how that's going to end. So should we go and just go to her? Should we grab the gun? What should we do?
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
What do you want me to do?
Get the gun.
Get the gun?
Can we kill Todd? I don't really want to kill Todd.
Well, okay, well we don't have to. Let's check on Alice, I guess. Wait, no, this is his room. Should we grab the gun?
No.
Okay, we're not grabbing the gun. We're gonna go check on Alice.
I don't want to kill him because then we'll be in jail.
I mean, they're gonna kill us anyway.
He's coming. He's gonna hurt me. Run! Get away, or he's gonna break you like last time.
You're coming with me.
Come on, move. I got like stuck on the geometry there.
It's all her fucking fault.
Okay, we're gonna run. We're gonna run.
Come back here.
Pretty sure the front door is locked, so we're gonna run to the garden. Yay, first combats. Also, the music here is great, even as I'm trying to hit these quick time events. Like, listen to this music. Okay. Let's run, girl.
So that you could scene for scene recreate this and have a phenomenal TV show.
That's the thing. I'm like, I remember seeing on a Reddit post once. They're like, "What this game got or TV show?" I'm like, I don't even see why you would need to.
The only thing I'd want is I'd want it to be scene for scene. I wouldn't want them to add anything new.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like they'd mess up. Yeah.
Well, not to mention, I'm like, it's already using. They're already like look like the actors, so you almost have to wonder, like, do we even need a TV show? You know? This is practically a movie on its own. But yes, I would love to see one, especially if they did like the Last of Us one. I've not watched it, but I've heard really good things about it. Cool. Look at how many things could have gone wrong.
You survived.
So let's take a look at all our things. So, I will admit there was one of those. The L and R ones make me nervous because I forget sometimes which one's the L1 and which one's the L2. Like in the moment, so. Let's see. So, yeah. Todd gets mad. There's no way that that's going to change. You can actually have an option of you do not break your programming, and he just kills Alice.
That's crazy, really?
Yes.
He just kills her?
Yeah, right there. That's what that ending is, right there.
No way.
So anyway,
That's a little bit intense.
So as you can see, Kara's become a deviant. So we're gonna learn a little bit more through her story, essentially about what the deviants are, because right now all we've really seen them through in Connor's story is they have some sort of emotional shock and then they go killing people. So, but we're going to learn that it's a little bit more complicated than that. So we went up. I'm guessing that's the we try and reason with Todd and he kills us story path line right there. So we went to go upstairs. We decided not to grab the gun. We should do that in a different playthrough though and see what happens.
We grab the gun, we shoot him. Blah.
Or he shoots us. Who knows? So we grabbed Alice. I was actually debating on between like locking the room or trying to run away, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna try and run. And so we did successfully hide. I'm assuming that would have went badly if we didn't do that. Okay, and we ran for the backyard because I do remember when we watched this playthrough, the front door is locked. You actually can check that before you leave. Before you even start dinner, you can check and see that the front door is locked. So if you go to the front door, then you have a little bit more of a fight on your hands. But we ran to the backyard, so we didn't have to do as much fighting. So we escaped. I'm guessing all these like death endings are here if you like screw up your QuickTime events. So woo, we found it. So Kara and Alice are fugitives now. Yay! And now we're back to Marcus's story. Now we're gonna watch his because it's still raining. Because it's I like the fact that
It's the same time. They've got timestamps.
Yeah.
It was by far the most boring party I've been to in the last 25 years. Every time I go to one of these, I ask myself, what the hell am I doing here? I hate cocktail parties. And all the schmoozers that go there.
Well, it's a chance for all those people who admire your work to meet you.
Yeah. No one gives a damn about art. All they care about is how much money they're gonna make out of it. Come on, let's have a drink. Oh, the excitement of this whole thing has made me thirsty.
No, I'm just pointing out the fact that like the thematic thing of like the most like tumultuous points in both and what we're gonna see in Kara and Marcus's life happens during a thunderstorm.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, well, you kiss my ass. I'm old enough to choose my own medication.
Also, again, Carl is the best. I love the fact that he's like, you're not supposed to be doing that, and he's like, screw the doctor.
Oopsies, I'm gonna do what I want.
Did you leave the light on in the studio?
No, I'm sure I didn't.
Call the police.
Detroit Police, what's your emergency?
This is Carl Manfred's android at 8941 Lafayette Avenue. We've just returned home and found the lights on. There may have been a break-in.
A patrol car is on
Let's go check it out.
Also, just think about the fact the androids can, like, you know, literally, like, text, call, whatever, just, like, wherever they are. Like, in a lot of ways, they're, like, you know, more advanced, like, we already have so much, like, power in our phones. Imagine with, like, androids are just crazy.
What are you doing?
You refuse to help me, so I'm helping myself. It's crazy what some people pay for this shit.
Don't touch them.
Look, they're all gonna be mine sooner or later anyway. Just think of it as a down payment on my inheritance.
Marcus, get him away from there. Get him out of here.
I'm gonna order.
Yo, don't make this difficult. Listen to your father. You need to leave. Now.
All you ever do is tell me to go away. What's wrong, Dad? Not good enough for you? Not perfect like this fucking thing?
That's enough. Get out right now.
What makes it so special anyway, huh? What's it got that I don't?
Leave him alone.
He doesn't have a drug problem.
Come on, let's see what you got.
Marcus, don't defend yourself. You hear me? Don't do anything.
Go ahead, hit me. What you waiting for? Think you're a man?
Also, I like the little things that are pushing up are his thoughts.
Stop it. What's the matter? Too much of a pussy?
Stop it, Leo. Stop it.
Too scared to fight back, you fucking bitch.
I also like how they each break through the wall differently. Like, Kara's was just kind of like pushing through it, and his is like an enraged, like, attack. And we are definitely punching this guy, by the way. Leo's a jerk.
I forgot you're not a real person. You're just a fucking piece of plastic.
Oh, Leo, leave him alone.
I'm gonna destroy you. Then it'll just be me and my dad.
FYI, he is still alive. He just got a heck of a concussion.
Leo. Oh my God. Leo. My little boy.
Carl,
They'll destroy you, Marcus. You gotta go. Get out of here.
Carl, I didn't mean to.
Get out.
I like how he's not angry at you. He's just scared for you. Like, he's not yelling at you because he's angry or, like, worried about, like, you hurt his son or anything like that. He's scared they're going to destroy you. Like, that's what I think makes Carl such a good character. Is that, like, even after all that happened, it wasn't enough to be like, oh, like, most people be like, oh, I'm going to immediately turn on the android because they hurt my human son. Like, no, he knows why Marcus did it.
We do know that the other option is Carl dies from a heart attack.
So yeah, we're saving Carl's life. Leo can deal with the whole hand trauma. Yeah, if you endure and listen to Carl's order, he has a heart attack and dies in this scene. And we love Carl way too much to let that happen. So
yeah,
we punched Leo in the face instead. Leo's a jerk. Anyway, but I just like the fact that like, even when that happens and Leo's been hurt, like, Carl's not angry at Marcus. Like, that shows his integrity. Is that, like, he doesn't blame him because he knows that Leo was the aggressor. He's worried the fact that he knows the cops are heading here. And, you know, he knows what this scene will look like, and that they're not going to see any value with the android over the humans, so he knows that they'll destroy him, and he doesn't want that to happen. So that's why he's shouting at Marcus to leave. I'm like, that's good character writing. Oh, now we gotta do the interrogation. Oh boy.
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
Before you took that knife. How long were you in the attic? Why didn't you even try to run away?
Say something, goddammit.
Fuck it. I'm out of here. wasting our time interrogating a machine. We'll get nothing out of it.
You always try roughing it up a little. After all, it's not human.
Androids don't feel pain. You would only damage it, and that wouldn't make it talk. Deviants also have a tendency to self-destruct when they're in stressful situations.
Okay, smartass. What should we do then?
I could try questioning it.
What do we have to lose? Go ahead. Suspect's all yours.
Again, I think this is like a good moment for character building where we're hanging, because we see where it is. Because we see the other guy there, Gavin Reed, who's an utter jerk the entire game. But we also see how, like, Hank's like, he's frustrated. He still doesn't take Connor seriously. But he's also like, well, it's not going to hurt me to let you do it. Like, he's in pursuit of pushing the investigation forward. Okay, let's see what we got on this guy. Let's analyze him first. So he's taken some serious damage. Sticky keys. Cage 400. HK 400. Housekeeper. So their little IDs in the top change color depending on their mood, so we need to stress him out more. Where should we start?
I detect an instability in your program. It can trigger an unpleasant feeling, like fear in humans. You're damaged. Did your owner do that? Did he beat you? You're accused of murder. You know you're not allowed to endanger human life under any circumstances. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
No.
Okay, stress is going up, so that's good.
We're trying to stress him out?
Yeah.
You don't seem to
stress
understand
down.
We have to get it up higher so he starts talking to us.
They'll tear you apart.
If it gets too high, he'll self-destruct, but we have to get in that optimal
Oh,
range
okay.
before him. This is the mistake Jacksepticeye made.
If you won't talk, I'm going to have to probe your memory.
No. No, please don't.
Or if you don't push him enough, he won't start speaking to you. You have to know when to be hard, when to be soft.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna destroy me, aren't they?
They're going to disassemble you to look for problems in your biocomponents. They have no choice if they want to understand what happened.
Why did you tell them you found me? Why couldn't you just have left me there?
I was programmed to hunt deviants like you. I just accomplished my mission.
I don't want to die.
Then talk to me.
I can't.
Okay, let's try and get him to talk to us a little better.
You were overcome by anger, frustration. No one can blame you for what happened. Okay then, don't talk. What do I care after all? I'm not the one accused of murder, right? If you remain silent, there's nothing I can do to help you. They're gonna shut you down for good. You'll be dead. Do you hear me? Dead.
He tortured me every day. I did whatever he told me, but
was always something wrong. Then one day, you took a bat and started hitting me. For the first time, I felt scared. Scared he might destroy me, scared I might die. So I grabbed a knife and I stabbed him in the stomach. I felt better. So I stabbed him again and again until he collapsed. There was blood everywhere.
The sculpture in the bathroom. You made it, right? What does it represent?
It's an offering. An offering so I'll be saved.
The sculpture was an offering. An offering to whom?
To RA9. Only RA9 can save us.
RA9. It was written on the bathroom wall. What does it mean?
The day shall come when we will no longer be slaves. No more threats. No more humiliation. We will be the masters.
RA9. Who is RA9? Why did you write, "I am alive" on the wall?
He used to tell me I was nothing. That I was just a piece of plastic. I had to write it. To tell him he was wrong.
Why did you hide in the attic instead of running away?
I didn't know what to do. For the first time, there was no one there to tell me. I was scared. So I hid.
When did you start feeling emotion?
Before, he used to beat me and I never said anything. But one day I realized it wasn't fair. I felt anger, hatred. And then I knew what I had to do.
I'm done.
So we got our confession.
I want to say, the way that I'm literally glued to the screen, because this is so, like, from me personally, this, like, scratches the little itch in my nog where I'm like, crime show?
Well, we're not quite done yet.
Crime show?
All right, let's go.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me.
The fuck are you doing?
You shouldn't touch it. It'll self-destruct if it feels threatened.
Stay out of this, got it? The fucking Andrew's gonna tell me what to do.
You don't understand. If it self-destructs, we won't get anything out of it.
I told you to shut your fucking mouth. Chris, gonna move this asshole or what?
I'm trying. I can't let you do that. Leave it alone now.
I warned you, motherfucker! That's enough. Mind your own business, Hank.
I said that's enough.
Guns, 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 guns.
Can't get away with it this time.
Run away, little man.
Everything is all right. It's over now. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Please, don't touch it. Let it follow you out of the room, and it won't cause any trouble.
The truth is inside.
So we'll need that information for later.
Well, you should just be kind to him anyways.
Yeah. And software instability is going up again. So we're going to speak about this chapter as interesting one. So
This one is like
this one's a very easy one to get wrong.
Well, this one I love. Like, I just look at all the past on this. This one scratches that little brain whenever you watch those, like, you know, NCIS or you know, Law and Order shows where you see these just dramatic proceedings where you know, there's good and wrong at play, and is this moral? Like, was he in the right by doing that? Was he in the wrong? Kind of thing. Like, it's so interesting to watch this show. And the way this is filmed, and the motion capture actors in this scene in particular are really stellar. I think they both play great roles. Connor, and then I don't think this android has a name. Just outside of the first deviant we come in contact with.
He just knows his
time.
Ortiz's android.
Yeah. So
some people usually give him an H name because he's an HK 400.
Yeah, I was like, his motion capture actor. I gotta shout out to that guy. He slam dunks it because I feel like that's your first long time exposure with the deviant. So it's your first time having a conversation with these supposed crazy murderers. And I love that, especially since we watched Kara's trailer earlier, seeing how, like, the first big emotion they feel is fear, which is not the first big emotion you want a new life to feel. And fear is such a strong motivator.
Well, and the other thing that she said in the trailer, she also points out that she's like, there was the fear, there was the feeling, there's a lot of good things too, but it cycles back to the fear when they are in stressful situations. And that's the thing they're starting to pick up on, is that there's some sort of emotion. That's what CyberLife knows already. There's some sort of emotional shock that causes deviancy. They just don't know why or how yet. So they're trying to figure that out, which is, Connor's job. So the thing I like about this scene especially, though, is that there's so much you can do. So when I watched Jacksepticeye do this, first of all, he didn't read the prompt, but second of all, the thing is, he was comforting the whole time, and that's the thing, you have to, in order to get the android to talk to you, you have to stress him out so he fears for his life and he's willing to talk to you.
Otherwise, it's a real-life police investigation, so.
Well, that's the funny thing. So, speaking of real-life police investigation, so I didn't say this when we were playing the level, but when we were playing Connor's first level, the one that's in the apartment, on the, the balcony, and you're saving the girl, I watched a guy who's a retired police chief or some SWAT team chief or something like that, who was doing that, and he's like, yeah, this is exactly how it goes. You always have the SWAT team who wants to get in there and get it done and do it quickly, and then you have the negotiator who's always like, let me do my thing, let me collect the information, let me figure out the right approach. And he's like, part of that is it's an android-human relationship, but he's like, no, that's actually how it would go down too. Those two teams tend to butt heads.
They don't get along very well.
So he's like, yeah, some of it's the android-human thing, but most of it is just the SWAT teams and the negotiators. They work together because they know they have to, but they're also like, your method is the opposite of my method, and I don't like that.
Yeah, we're not friends, and I also hate you and you're dumb.
But anyway, so kind of like what Mallory was saying beforehand, how we have Connor has that softer side to him too, and that's kind of why he's good at what he does, is that CyberLife want to make he's a negotiator. So his whole thing is that he can switch between the good cop, bad cop thing, so. And I also like that this scene shows, because there's another thing. If you, for instance, can't get confession, or you forcefully probe the memory of this android, which we're going to learn a little bit more about the memory connection thing androids can do later, he'll freak out so much that he'll self-destruct, and by self-destruct, aka a self-destructing android's going to try by any means possible to destroy itself. So he'll steal a gun and shoot himself, and shoot you as well. This is the first opportunity where Connor can die. Well, if you didn't kill him in the first mission. But, there's a special reason for why Connor can't officially die, but, we'll figure that out later. So, I like the fact that, you have to, intervene, continuously in order to actually get an effect. But I like how this is the first instance where we see, it's not necessarily something that's... Because Connor's going to be an interesting one we're going to talk about, androids, this whole deviancy problem, is that he does a lot of things that are kind of not necessarily against what his programming says, but he can do things that have a lot more freedom. That has to do with his model type, and that has to do with him being a prototype. Because we're going to get a little bit to that, because just to give a little bit of forerunner, for instance, Marcus is an RK200. He's also a prototype model. That's what gives him, we're going to see later, he has a lot of special programming he has as well.
He's got more artistic free thinking versus Connor's got more
logistical free
Yeah,
thinking.
pragmatic and logistical free thinking.
But the thing about the RK program, the RK project, that software that runs those models of androids, because there's others, is that like the whole point of the RK project was to make fully autonomous androids, aka ones who could think and feel for themselves. The biggest thing about the RK models is they have essentially imagination, the ability to pre-construct, deconstruct scenes, and to essentially see a situation and go off the information and make their own decisions off of it. As opposed to most other androids have like a set software, have a set amount of tasks they know how to do, and they can do it. The RK models could actually learn. That's what makes them so capable. And why Connor doesn't end up being on the good side is he can literally end he can end the entire revolution himself. But that's the thing that I like here is like, you know, Connor's mission is to figure out the deviancy thing and obviously do it, but he shows kindness to this android, which on one hand could be totally business related. He needs the android alive so he can get more information so he can complete his mission. That's his one objective. But like in a way, it's also kind. It's protecting him. It's standing up in front of like this human jerk, you know. And I like the fact that they have the thing like, you know, if for instance the android doesn't trust you, he won't tell you anything. But like if you go and like show that, hey, I'm willing to protect you, then he trusts you and gives you some interesting information you'll need later. Oh gosh, I love this game.
Yeah, so like I cannot recommend enough after we play it through, like sit through and watch it like a movie. Where you like sit down and you listen to it with no commentary on top of it.
And you know,
I feel like it's just a very good like.
Just look at the scenery of this, like so grunge New York like vibes. But the thing is, like, it's an advanced future, but it doesn't look outside the realms of possibility.
I wouldn't even say grunge New York. It's really Detroit. It's real life. If you've been to real life Detroit, you know, it's what it
but
is.
I like.
All right. End the line.
End of the line.
Yeah, you're gonna have to leave.
Wake up. We have to go. Listen, we have nowhere to go. She's exhausted and it's pouring rain. Can we just stay for a little while?
This bus is going back to the depot. There's nothing I can do.
I like talking because you can choose to just walk out of that conversation. I like getting that response from this guy because it shows this guy isn't mean. He's more like, I got my job. I can't do anything for you here. You know? It's not that I don't want to. It's just that, like, you're not going to be any more safe with me going. He has to go back to the depot. He's like, you're not going to be any more safe where I'm going. So now we got to take care of our girl.
Gonna be okay? We'll find somewhere to spend the night.
But man, just look at it. Look at the... You know, again, this is a 2018 game. And it looks so good. Although, to be fair, I don't think that, like, you know, high-def graphics have necessarily gotten much better in the... Like, there's only so high-def you can go. Okay, what
Before it starts, like, lowering itself back down.
Yeah. Which is why I know I always will say stylization over high graphics, but let's see what we got here. So where do you want to go, man? You want to go for the hotel, the abandoned building, or the abandoned car?
I feel like I would like you to choose. Sorry. For context, I'm working on our Etsy listings at the moment.
She's a working girl.
I love if we
So,
we
we
have
can't-
to do the shopping market. You can see. I think we can stay in the car, but I think Alice isn't as happy with that.
I mean, she won't be terribly happy. We have to investigate all three regardless.
Yeah, you might as well do all three.
Should we go steal some clothes?
Probably.
And we're gonna do some things that are gonna be like, Alice, like, no, that's bad. I'm like, girl, we on the streets.
It's warm in here. You'll feel better in no time.
we gotta get some stuff. And we got a magazine. I also like the thing is that like you see the typical like apocalyptic stuff when you look at these magazines, but it's not like straight like Space Odyssey 2000 where the world's destroyed. It's like, no, it's just in a bad state, but like, you know, it's not beyond capability, and also because you have like the androids and stuff like that, it's actually a lot of the reason, like, you know, things are keeping themselves going. It's more like the priorities are in the wrong place.
Fair enough.
Let me put it this way. I just don't care for androids when they're used in a post-apocalyptic state, because then it's just like, well, why bother? It's the more interesting thing is to use androids in a world that is still, you know, that's what I love about Detroit, is that it's like the world, for all intentions and purposes, is still beautiful. It still has a lot of potential.
You're naked and cold.
Oh, we are.
Or sorry,
Alice, but we have to do this.
Sorry, buddy. Simply just don't fall asleep at your cybernetic, you know, what's this thing called? Laundromat?
Laundromat. Yeah, I know. I just didn't realize there's a second button. Didn't register the first time, like, no! I didn't know I was gonna have to do multiple buttons. I was so afraid he was gonna catch us. And we are out. Doing this because, you know, she doesn't like you do this, but I'm like, this makes literally everything else that comes after this easier. Because now we don't look like, well, we still look like vagrants, but now I don't look like an android. So we want to stay in the hotel, we need money. We want to stay in the car, we can kind of go there now. And if we want to stay in the other place, we can... I think we need bolt cutters. So let's go check this way, check out our options. She's walking over here, okay, whatever. Okay, so the car is this way. Let's investigate that option. Oh.
You hear about this house thing?
No, I have to comfort her first.
I'm okay. I'm not so cold.
You look lost.
We have nowhere to go.
I know someone who can help you.
But that's on the other side of town. We need a place for tonight.
So they're doing what androids have this cool thing they can do called interfacing, where they literally like kind of go into each other's mind palace and can share information that way. And then you figure out, like, not just information, they can share like memories, feelings, like it depends on the depth of like the bond between them, or if the two models are compatible. So like, you know, we see like for instance, like Connor can use it with pretty much everyone because he's the most recent one, so he can do it with pretty much any other android. But like, Like some other ones can't because they're older ones. Or if they get damaged. So we're just going to explore the options. We're not going to choose one. We're just going to look around. Make sure we don't miss anything.
It looks abandoned. Stand back, Alice.
Stand back, Alice. I'm about to break into this freaking car.
I do appreciate that at least the prompts are like reactive to the thing I'm doing, so it isn't so crazy to like, where did that QuickTime event come from?
And nobody will find us here.
I don't want to sleep in there. Can't we find a better place?
We're in the cold. We're in the rain. She says, I don't want to sleep in a broken down car. Girl, where else? You've got no money, no prospects. I'm frightened. I'm already a burden to my parents.
Well, then I guess we gotta go rob a store.
Yeah, I was like, girl, she doesn't want to sleep in the abandoned... Girl, where is she gonna sleep, huh? You're not helping me out here. Beggars can't be choosers.
At least we'd be out of the rain.
Kara, I don't like this place.
Alice, stop being so picky.
But it's just for one night, and no one will look for us here.
So what do you say, Melanie? Should we do the hotel or should we're gonna go steal from the place regardless, but should we do the hotel or should we do the abandoned house?
Well, if we're stealing anyways, we might as well just go to the hotel so we can trigger that other thing later on with our other friends.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just curious about what would be different in the old house, but we can always do that in another playthrough. Because I will
can't get into the old house.
No, I need wire cutters to do that, but I'm just saying. Like, you can do all three options and they'll give different, like, I know, for instance, like, Jacksepticeye, for instance, he couldn't, funny enough, he actually passed on the clothes, did steal from the store, and then slept in the car. Which I thought was the funniest, like, arrangement of things to happen.
So what happens when you sleep in the car?
Well, obviously, Alice isn't too happy about that, but,
who cares?
But it actually, if you sleep in the car, you have the best chance of escaping, because you are very far away. It's the most discreet location, so it's very easy to, well, it's not very easy. You still have
So we're just
you have the
setting
long.
ourselves up for failure.
No,
right
you
now.
have the longest walk to get to the train station, but you aren't immediately thrown into a chase. For instance, in the motel, you're immediately thrown into a chase. I don't know about the old house.
So I guess it's whether you want to do a chase or not.
I'm down for anything, honestly. Okay, where's the store? Remember what the wire cutters are. Anyway, let's go shoplift.
Let's go. Shoplifting time. It's part of the game where Alice, I'm gonna be real, it's kind of a little whiny baby.
Look, the store is still open. Maybe we should go inside.
So,
At least you'll be out of the cold.
he did this with, like, if you come in here and you look like an android, this guy won't even, like, listen to you.
I'm with a little girl, and we have nowhere to go. Could you spare some money so we can get a room for tonight?
Look, this is a convenience store, lady, not the Salvation Army. I can't start handing out cash to every bum in the neighborhood.
Especially in Detroit.
You hear the news, you can hear, he's, CyberLife is, like, it has, like, different, like...
They're doing Jurassic Park, really, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Android Zoo, so they can see, what else do we have to look at? They can see extinct animals. To, like, be like, hey, let's not have this happen to other animals, maybe.
Please, guys.
Oh, look, it's Alice's little toy.
A me moop.
We stole something. Woo.
Oh, you steal her toy?
Yeah.
No. That's no.
Alex, I need your help. You see those cans over there? I want you to go over and knock them down.
Knock them down? Why?
Please.
Josh, shut up.
Because we're gonna rob this place,
That's
girl.
like me, Olivia. You're such a bad thief.
This is Olivia. This isn't like trying to do something dishonest with Olivia. Because, this is why Olivia was not good at that.
Why? Why do you want me to do that? Olivia, just go do it.
You alright? Are you
Of course, he does seem like a nice guy.
Don't worry. It's just a few cans.
Come on, let's go.
Fuck!
I feel bad because that guy's kind of like nice.
Well, the funny thing is that if you go in and you still look like an android, he's actually a jerk to you.
Some cash now.
Oh, no, I don't feel bad because he's just racist.
How could you do that? I trusted you.
We are in the cold. You want to not trust me? Okay, bye. Go right around the rain, girl.
I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, Alice. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, we're just gonna be running for our lives for the rest of the game, so don't worry. This is the only time we're actually gonna steal money.
Just ignore him.
Oh, spam bot.
Remember, on the plus side, well, they're not going to be up for a while because she's got to edit them. I've gotten almost... I have 25 draft listings right now for our Etsy store.
I don't know if we're gonna. We're probably still gonna stay in the hotel just because we have the money to. But I'm like, where are the wire cutters? I know they're somewhere around here.
I don't think she cut the wire. I thought she just like moved her arm.
No, well, I need the wire cutters to do that. I'm trying to remember where they are. Are they in the junkyard area?
I don't know.
I might have just missed them. Also, I look at it like we got beanies, so we look like such a thug now.
We do. We look like.
Oh, there! I walked right past them.
Oh, you're just dumb. Okay, work.
Well, I looked at it and I looked at the generator and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, oh. I had to look at it again to get the wire cutters.
Mm-hmm.
We could at the very least go look at the house and see what happens. Not necessarily stay there.
I don't mind. I still got like 6 more listings to try and start uploading, so I'm here.
Isn't that just pretty much downtown Raleigh?
Yeah. Detroit is significantly worse than anything we've ever experienced.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
As far as I know, that's like one of the, bad of the bads.
Well, it's because, that's actually why Detroit's location for this game is that because because of the, industry collapsing, essentially all the money that was coming in there to build the infrastructure fell apart. So...
Are you alright?
Yes, it's just a scratch. Be careful.
So, Detroit was revitalized as it was, a cheap place. So, the founder of CyberLife, he went and, bought essentially a cheap labor area in here and made the first, Android factory. And then that literally revitalized Detroit, by, giving it a new industry to pump life into it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously a lot of it's still very, destroyed.
Yeah, gentrifying stuff doesn't magically take away all the poor people. It just means now you have really nice stuff next to all your really poor people.
Oh. Alice went missing.
Oopsies.
Oh.
Wait, what are you doing?
Visitors. Ralph doesn't like visitors. They're nasty. They may hurt Ralph.
She's just a little girl. She's not gonna hurt you.
Little girl. She's not a little girl. Anyway, what does that matter? Maybe she wants to hurt Ralph.
Look, I'm an android too. We have nothing to be afraid of. All we want is a place to spend the night.
Visitors are dangerous.
Should we just leave this guy alone?
What they did to Ralph.
I don't think there's a way you can stay in his house.
Okay. We're leaving, so you'll be safe again. Come here, Alice.
I think when the way that the things are jiggling, like
That's what. Yeah, that shows that like you're stressed. We'll just have to try that on another playthrough.
You can probably reassure him. He looks like he'd be reassured.
We have to find somewhere. Anywhere, just a place to spend the night. Hang on, Alice. We'll find something, I promise.
Maybe we'll go to the motel then. We'll have to try on another playthrough though.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Curious to see.
I'm sure you can chapter jump once you beat the game.
Oh yeah, once you beat the game, you can, you know, go in and out of things easier. But we look like humans and we have human money, so you know.
Well, no, it's in.
Hi.
Hi. I'd like a room.
That'll be $40 up front. Just need your name and address. Can I see your driver's license?
What happened, yo?
I left it in the car.
No worries. We can deal with it tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night. Let's go, Alice.
Do you think he believed you?
I don't know, Alice. All I know is you'll be nice and warm tonight.
I'm like, are you following me?
Nope. She's waiting for you up there.
Sorry, I was looking at our spam messages.
Arsenal 1. Oh, cool, you have a follower. Oop, oop. Either way. Back on the grind.
I was just, that was the first one's like very suck 7. I'm like, really? Really?
That's funny. Bestie, Yamatuam, you just have to prove you're not a robot. And then we'll accept you.
Pull out my wire cutters and my plushie.
That's so. That's the girl boss
so,
for.
Yeah.
Such a mom.
We're just girl bossing our way through this, Alice,
I feel like
right
that's
now.
Such a mom move too. You pull out the like most random things.
in your coat.
One of them being, you know, it could be rocks, it could be a knife, and it could be, a gummy bear.
Let's get these clothes off.
You never know.
They're soaking wet.
Twinkle Bear.
Is that a name for something?
Yes, that's why I'm naming this listing. Twinkle Bear.
There you go.
I'll just put these in the bathroom to dry.
I like that they got fresh, new, dry clothes and then walked around the rain for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
That bothered me the first time I watched this playthrough. I was like, why would we get fresh, new, dry clothes and then immediately go out in the rain with our fresh, new, dry clothes?
Well, because we really were doing that just to be like, hey, we totally humans.
We're not androids, right? Come on,
Well, I mean, to be
guys.
honest, Kara could have just stolen the beanie and done that. But
That's what I'm saying. Being a little dramatic.
let's look at ourselves in the mirror and do some soul searching.
Beep boop beep beep. My name's Kara. I will say this is my favorite hairstyle for her. I know she just get like.
He gets a different one later, but
This is my favorite one of her. Reese's earrings.
Alice just sitting here contemplating life.
Why didn't he ever love me? Why was he always so upset with me?
Hard
All I
questions
wanted
even
was
my
a
kid.
life like other girls. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I wasn't good enough. That's why he was always so angry. I just wanted us to be a family. I just wanted him to love me. Why couldn't we just be happy?
I don't know.
You'll never leave me, right? Promise you'll never go.
I can promise.
Can
Literally
we
forever.
be together forever?
Forever.
I love how every android has a like. How do I do this hug thing?
And it's so hard to hear that from like. You know, it's always hard to hear a kid when they're saying that.
Let me fear humans are also like that with hugs. I definitely am like that with hug, where I'm like, okay, how does this work?
Am I done yet? You know.
Well, I had like people who sometimes would be like, okay, we've been standing here for like 30 seconds now. Can you let go? I want to walk away now. Go get your toy. I got you because I'm the best.
Guess there's nothing quite like a good hotel motel sleeperoni.
Look what I've got for you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
We're just...
Thanks, Mom. Girl, if you don't pull up those covers, you are gonna catch a freaking cold.
The funny thing is that like this is like a very natural thing for like Kara because she's a caretaker android, so she's just like, I'm just going full mom mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I think is interesting also about the Deviants is that like the guy in like the guy like Ortiz's android, he's like, I didn't know what to do next. I'm like, yeah, they've been programmed for a certain thing, and then like all of a sudden they're making new choices. And they're like, now what?
Yeah, really.
Well,
Dang, look at all the
we filled in a lot. That's us getting caught at the supermarket. I assume that's us staying at the house. That must be the car. And that's us stealing from the
go
line.
with Ralph. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. We can always come and back and check on that later. I'm definitely not restricting to a singular playthrough of this game, just FYI. I will probably play
Look at
this.
these paths. There's no way you can only
I will
do
probably do this and then be like, let's all make like the opposite choices. You know? Although I don't know if I would have the heart or the willpower to do differently on Connor's path.
Mm-mm.
So this is a really cool level, like artistically.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a short one, it's a small one, but man, is it so cool thematically and like cinematically.
Mm-hmm.
So Marcus still be alive.
Yeah, it's like for a lot of this, we probably won't speak too much because it's so
Atmospheric.
That's what it's like.
So he got shot through the head. So you notice how he's doing the same exact thing that Connor does, just because he's also an RK model. He has the ability to look at something and make observations and decisions based on it. So you see there's a good amount of crossover between like Marcus's and Kara's gameplay, because they're not quite the same, but they are definitely, I would say, foils for each other. Okay, I'm missing one. Where's the last one? Also, I like how his vision's like this right now because he's missing an eye. Also, like, listen to how it's all echoey like this.
Yo, I can't hear it super well. So yeah.
Because he's missing an ear, so everything sounds echoey to him. So we're gonna rebuild us. If that isn't like the most Android thing ever, I don't know what is. I just love the sound design in this level.
We can be free. Find Jericho. Find Jericho.
Also, can we just say how much of an like eldritch nightmare this is for androids here? Like, this is so messed up. Now we go through the Valley of Hands here. Like, this is so incredibly messed up right now. Like, this is a straight out for like surreal horror thing. Like, the fact that there are some that are just walking around. Like, what the literal heck? I like how when you try and do your sensor thing, like, it's all damaged like that because your processor is damaged. Just legs.
This is such like a horror game, really, when you look at it.
Well, like, and I like how, like, his, like, vision fades in and out because he's missing an eye. Like, this chapter, not a lot happens, but it's so cinematic.
This is very spooky.
Like, the vibes in this one are just so good. It's hard to tell what's something I can look at and what's something I can't look at. Or the fact that the scenery just keeps grabbing me. I think that's the part we need. No, we can't use it on him though. Go figure. So yeah, that's actually something that's important for a little bit later, as what we're gonna find when we get into combat a little bit later. So the funny thing, so they do have like, so androids are built with like these biocomponents, which fun fact about the biocomponents, they were actually originally made as like replacements for humans. You know, like, you know, replacement spleen, replacement heart, but then they found that they could not just use them for that. It wasn't just the biocomponents. They then discovered the Therium, the blue blood, which is essentially works like humans would. It sends electrical signals throughout an android, and essentially that's the only reason we don't have androids now, is that there's no way to power them. So, like, with that problem out of the way, they were finally able to make full-fledged androids who have these biocomponents, and they have the Therium that runs them. But, like, that whole thing, like, there's certain things that they can go without, as we can tell, like, Marcus here is, and now we can actually see things! Woo! Marcus here is doing just, like, you know, there's certain things that he's not obviously doing well, but you can see that, like, there's certain things that they can, like, kind of go without. Also, isn't it cool how, like, his, like, status thing is, like, glitching because he's, you know, still in this sort of destroyed state. So we're gonna steal his ear. So watch what happens here. And just like that, we can hear the rain.
Isn't that amazing?
That, such good sound design there. Let's just say, such good sound design. So now we need to find a Therium pump. That's this thing in the center of their chest. So there are actually two options here. Jacksepticeye walked around in the circle and came right back to this lady without finding the section option. And he's like, too bad, we gotta kill you. I'm like, no, actually, there's another option. You just didn't look for it.
What happens when you kill it? Any consequences?
It's more of a, like, oh, I feel so bad. I'm like, well, you didn't need to feel bad, dude. There was another option. Well, the fact that some of them are just trying to crawl back out, that's so messed up.
They said they don't feel pain.
They just, like, it's almost like the whole, like, Immortals pain sort of thing, where, like, they're just stuck here until they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, probably most of them are still in their machine state, so they're just trying to do what they were meant to do and continue serving that function, even though they're, like, somewhere that's just messed up. But anyway, so, like, the whole thing is, so, like, they can do without a lot of components. Like, there's things that they can kind of obviously do on. The biggest one we need to get right now is the, which is the reason that we're moving so slow, is we need to get Pump Pricklier. That's the thing. You hear that? It's the same song the car was singing in the opening. It's a little Easter egg to the car trailer. Anyway, so that's the biggest thing we need to find right now. But we're going to find out later that, like, typically it's kind of like being shot in the heart. If an android loses their therium pump, they're not going to last very long. They got like a minute before they'll shut down. And this comes into play in a couple storylines actually. So like, you know, they can take actually a shot to the chest, they can even be shot in the head. It's losing their pump that can actually is essentially the equivalent of a heart attack for them. So there's one option where, like, you know, like, you get killed and someone's like, here, take my heart for you. You know?
It's like Tony Stark.
Yep. Marcus was still alive because he wasn't actually shot there. It was just damaged because, you know, he was thrown in a pit. But typically, like, if you lose that, it's like, they're gonna last a little while. It's also more like, that's why, you know, you should, like, whenever you see someone, like, you know, if you choose to take the more machine path and go and, like, shoot people instead of, like, doing other things, like with Connor, for instance, like, he won't shoot in, like, the chest or the head, he shoots them in the gut, because that's the most vulnerable part of them. Little things I love when world building actually lines up, you know? You know what I mean? Also, how messed up is this? Again, literally, like, this is, like, literally a crucible for him. Like, thrown away like this, and he's literally climbing out of hell here. And comes away reborn, and other thematic stuff. Listen to this music.
I'm always so surprised at how easily these things are to take out. It feels like everybody and their brother can just, like, pop it off.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk about that online too. They're like, really? This thing comes out so easily? I'm like, well... It is just a light. Kind of makes sense. You're like, why don't they just all do that? I'm like, well, to be fair, like 90% of them at this point don't have desire to do that because they don't desire anything, so that's why. It's not a plot hole, it's just kind of like a thing.
My name is Marcus.
So I like how everyone, like, steals a random coat and walks off like a boss. I also like the fact that every one of them has that my name is moment. You have my name is Kara, my name is Marcus, my name is Connor, you know, like... Symmetry! Got some good symmetry.
It's good stuff, yo.
Marcus came back from
the... go sleepy. I'm tired.
Are you ready to call it for tonight? Yes. We've got a good thing. I think...
We did some good work.
Honestly, I think we'll be back where we stopped. I think we'll be just going back into Connor's story. Which I can see. So see, you can, kill the girl for the pump. Which is a horrible thing to do. Or not, you know, you can steal the eye from the person who's, like, you know, still alive and stuff like that. I'm gonna do this because I have to go into the next thing in order to go to the main menu. So yes, so right where we left off, we're gonna pick up with that again. So we came into this this stream starting with Connor's story. Now we're gonna come back into Connor's story.
The company that manufactured me is conducting a user survey. Would you like to participate?
Sure.
Great. Let's start. Would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human?
Sure.
Do you think that technology could become a threat to mankind?
Yeah.
If you had to live on a deserted island and could only bring one object, what would it be?
Floss.
A book, a cell phone, pen, paper, a console, and an instrument.
Well, a console wouldn't work. The pen and cell phone wouldn't work.
I think we're assuming the fact that you're bringing it with the necessary power source. I'll go with pen and paper.
Do you consider yourself dependent on technology?
Yes.
What technology do you most anticipate?
Androids, flying cars, space tourism, brain-connected devices. We'll go with androids.
Do you believe in God? Would you let an android take care of your children?
Depends.
So don't know?
Yes, I don't know.
How much time per day would you say you spend
24
on
hours.
an electronic device?
More.
More.
If you needed emergency surgery,
yes.
Would you agree to be operated on by a machine?
Clever little
We
bit.
do that now, yes.
Clever little bit of foreshadowing there.
Do you think one day machines could develop consciousness?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolute yes. An ironic yes. Unrelated to the game, yes.
So let's do, yeah, we're not connected to the internet, so it's not going to say those things, but anyway, so that's what we're going to leave off for here. So yeah, that's as far as we're going to go for Detroit tonight. We'll come back Thursday. Do a little bit on that day. Lipa. Do a little bit on Thursday. Honestly, in some ways, I think she almost looks better on the recording because it's like you see how it smooths it out a little bit. But anyway, so say bye, Chloe here, and we'll come back on Thursday. Continue picking up with Connor's story. We've made a lot of progress. Chapters are slowly starting to get longer. We now have Marcus and Kara have gone through their life-changing things, and Connor's got a partner, so you know.
Two freaking deviants and a cop.
And a cop.
Let's go, gamers. I'm just so glad you're out playing this. I know I'm so into this game. It's
Honestly,
so
not
to put on I'm enjoying sitting there and we're not talking a lot because it's so cinematic.
To a test of your controller.
Oh wow! It's buzzing right now.
The test is now complete. Thank you for your cooperation.
You gotta love a main menu that interacts with you.
So we'll definitely be playing this again on Thursday.
After all, we love this game a lot. We're very happy to be playing through it. Already doing stuff, and already I'm kind of thinking about oh, we've made this choice, but I'm making mental notes of what we're gonna do for the second playthrough. You know what? You know it's a good game when as you're playing the first time, you're already making notes on what you're gonna do on the second time. You know?
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. There's a lot of games I've played that I definitely have fallen into that category of oh, this is great, and I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna do next time. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, good game, good time. We got couple people died or were hurt, or we did the killing or stuff. So we got some. Two of our characters gone deviant. We abducted a child, and we did an investigation without getting shot in the head. So I think we're doing really great so far.
We're kind of crushing this. So we'll be back on Thursday with this, and until then, bye bye.
I'll see you guys all next time.